Welcome back to LearnEng, your cozy little corner of the internet where we learn real English together, one easy conversation at a time. I'm David, and today we're going to talk about something that every single person on this planet carries inside them. Dreams and goals. Now I know those two words get used a lot, sometimes so much that they start to lose their meaning. Dreams, goals, passion, purpose. You hear them everywhere, on social media, in motivational videos, in every self-help book ever written. But today, we're not doing motivation, we're doing language. Because here's what I've noticed after years of working with English learners. People can talk about their dreams in their own language with passion and detail and feeling, but in English, it comes out flat, thin. I want to be successful, I hope to travel, I would like a good job. And those sentences aren't wrong, but they don't carry any of the real feeling, any of the real weight, any of the real you. And that gap between what you feel and what you can express in English, that's what today is about. Closing that gap, giving you the real natural language to talk about what you want, what you're working toward, what you dream about, what you're afraid of losing, what you refuse to give up on. That's a different kind of English lesson, and I think it's the most important kind. Let me start with something personal. When I was about 32 years old, I had a dream that felt completely impossible. I wanted to do work that I found meaningful, work that helped people, work that I would actually look forward to on a Monday morning. And when I tried to tell people about it, even in my own language, it came out sounding vague, like a fantasy, like something I'd say and then shrug and say, but you know, probably not. Life is practical, you have responsibilities. And people would nod, and the dream would go back in the drawer. I think a lot of people listening to LearnEng right now know exactly that feeling. The dream that lives in the drawer. The one you take out occasionally and look at, and then put back, because the world seems too loud and too practical and too fast for something that quiet and that personal. Today we're not putting it back in the drawer. Today we're talking about it, in English, out loud, with real words. This is a B1 level episode, perfect if you're intermediate. If you're A2, stay with me, you'll understand more than you expect, and the second listen always feels easier. Before we jump in, if LearnEng is helping your English grow, please like this episode and subscribe to the channel. Every like, every subscribe, every share brings more learners like you into our LearnEng community, and I genuinely love reading your comments, so come say hello after you listen. Okay, let's talk about dreams and goals in English. First, let's understand the difference between a dream and a goal, because in English, these two words have slightly different feelings and slightly different uses. A dream is big, emotional, sometimes distant. It's the vision, the thing you imagine when you close your eyes and think about the life you really want. It might feel impossible right now, it might feel far away, but it's there, persistent, quietly stubborn. A goal is more concrete, more specific, more actionable. It has a time frame, it has steps. It's the dream broken down into something you can actually work toward today. Here are some natural English phrases that show this difference. My dream is to live abroad one day. My goal is to save enough money to move within 3 years. My dream is to speak English fluently and confidently. My goal is to practice for 30 minutes every single day this month. My dream is to run my own business. My goal is to have my business plan written by the end of this year. See the difference? Dream, big, emotional, directional. Goal, specific, practical, time-bound. Both are important. Both work together. The dream gives you the reason. The goal gives you the road. Now let's talk about how to express your dreams naturally in English, because there are so many more ways to do it than just, I want. I've always dreamed of. This shows a long-held deep wish, something that has been with you for a long time. I've always dreamed of living by the sea. I've always dreamed of writing a book. I've always dreamed of speaking English without thinking about it. One day I'd love to, warm and hopeful, not certain but genuinely desired. One day I'd love to travel through South America. One day I'd love to have a little place of my own in the countryside. My dream has always been to, similar to the first, but with a slightly more formal and sincere weight. My dream has always been to do work that makes a real difference. My dream has always been to give my children opportunities I never had. Ever since I was young, I've wanted to, connecting a current dream back to your younger self, showing it has been with you a long time. Ever since I was young, I've wanted to learn another language properly. Ever since I was young, I've wanted to see the northern lights. Something I've always wanted to do is natural, conversational, honest. Something I've always wanted to do is learn to play the piano. Something I've always wanted to do is live in another country for at least a year. These phrases don't just communicate information, they communicate feeling, history, personal truth, and that's what makes conversation real. Now let's talk about goals and the specific language around setting them, working toward them, and talking about them naturally. I'm working toward shows active present effort. I'm working toward my English certification. I'm working toward starting my own business. I'm in the process of shows something already started and ongoing. I'm in the process of changing careers. I'm in the process of building something new. My plan is to direct and confident. My plan is to finish my studies by next summer. My plan is to apply for jobs abroad by the end of the year. I'm aiming to shows intention and effort without absolute certainty. I'm aiming to reach B2 level by December. I'm aiming to save 6 months of expenses before I make the move. I've set myself a goal of shows personal commitment and self-discipline. I've set myself a goal of reading 1 English book a month. I've set myself a goal of having 1 English conversation every week no matter what. I'm taking steps toward shows progress, movement, momentum. I'm taking steps toward the life I want. I'm taking steps toward something I've wanted for a long time. Now let's talk about obstacles, because nobody talks about dreams and goals without eventually talking about what gets in the way, and that vocabulary is just as important. What's holding you back? A very natural question about obstacles. What's holding you back from applying? What's holding you back from starting? I keep getting in my own way. This means self-sabotage. Your own fear or doubt or procrastination is the main obstacle. I know what I need to do, but I keep getting in my own way. I'm afraid of honest and vulnerable. I'm afraid of failing after putting in so much effort. I'm afraid of what people will think if it doesn't work out. I'm afraid of starting over. The biggest obstacle for me is direct and clear. The biggest obstacle for me is time. The biggest obstacle for me is fear of the unknown. The biggest obstacle for me is believing I deserve it. I've been putting it off because, honest about procrastination, I've been putting it off because it feels overwhelming. I've been putting it off because I don't know where to start. I talk myself out of it every time because shows the internal conversation that kills dreams before they start. I talk myself out of it every time because I convince myself I'm not ready. I talk myself out of it every time because the timing never feels right. I want to stay with that last one for a moment. The timing never feels right. This is one of the most common dream killers in existence, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, the perfect level of readiness. And the truth, the honest, uncomfortable truth, is that the perfect moment doesn't come. You create the moment, you choose the moment, and the moment is always, always some version of now. Now let's talk about expressing hope and ambition in English, because there's a range of language from quiet hope all the way to fierce determination, and knowing that range makes your English so much more expressive. Quiet hope, gentle, uncertain but real. I hope one day I'll be able to speak English without translating in my head. I hope one day I'll look back at this period and be proud of how far I came. Maybe someday, soft and wistful, maybe someday I'll have the courage to just go for it. Maybe someday everything will fall into place. I'd like to think that, hopeful but humble, I'd like to think that all this work is going somewhere. I'd like to think that the best is still ahead. Medium confidence, working toward something real. I'm determined to. I'm determined to make this work. I'm determined to reach my goal even if it takes longer than I planned. I fully intend to. Strong intention. I fully intend to look back on this year as the year everything changed. I fully intend to finish what I started. I'm committed to. Shows deep personal investment. I'm committed to this process. I'm committed to showing up even on the hard days. Strong determination, fierce, unmovable. Nothing is going to stop me from. Nothing is going to stop me from building the life I want. Nothing is going to stop me from finishing this. I refuse to give up on. I refuse to give up on this dream. I refuse to give up on myself. This is non-negotiable for me. This goal is non-negotiable for me. My English, non-negotiable. My future, non-negotiable. That range from quiet hope to fierce determination, that's the full emotional spectrum of human ambition. And now, you have the English for every point on that spectrum. Let's now look at how these conversations actually happen in real life. Because talking about dreams and goals doesn't always happen in big dramatic moments. Often it happens in small, ordinary conversations. Someone asks you, "So what are you working toward these days?" Or "Do you have any big plans for the future?" Or "If you could do anything, what would it be?" And these questions deserve real answers. Not "I don't know," not "Oh, nothing special," but real, honest, natural answers that show who you are and what you care about. Let me give you some complete natural answers you can model. If someone asks, "What are you working toward these days?" You could say, honestly, "I'm working toward something I've wanted for a long time. I'm trying to reach a level of English where I can use it professionally, not just get by, but actually communicate with confidence. It's taking time, but I can feel the progress, and that keeps me going." If someone asks, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" You could say, "That's a big question. Honestly, my dream is to be doing work that I find meaningful, something I can wake up for with genuine enthusiasm. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like yet, but I'm taking steps toward it. 5 years feels like enough time to get there if I stay consistent." If someone asks, "What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?" You could say, "I'd start my own thing, something small at first, maybe something I could build alongside what I'm doing now. I've always had this idea in the back of my mind, and I keep telling myself the timing isn't right. But honestly, I think I'm just afraid, and I'm working on that." These answers are honest, personal, natural. They use the vocabulary we've practiced today, and they invite the other person in. They make conversation happen rather than shutting it down. Before word tour, your mission for today. Think about one dream you have right now, not a vague wish, a real one, the one that comes back even when you try to be practical and push it away. Write 3 sentences about it in English. Use this structure if it helps. My dream is, I'm working toward it by, the biggest obstacle is, but I refuse to. 3 sentences, honest, real, yours. Write it in your notebook, say it out loud, or post it in the comments below. I will read every single one, and I want you to know whatever you write, I believe it's possible for you, I really do. All right, my friend, time for word tour, our slow vocabulary walk through today's most useful words and phrases here on LearnEng. Take your time, repeat after me out loud if you can. First phrase, I've always dreamed of. This is a natural way to express a long-held deep wish, something that has been with you for a long time. I've always dreamed of speaking English fluently. I've always dreamed of living somewhere completely new. I've always dreamed of. I've always dreamed of. Next phrase, working toward. To be working toward something means you are actively making progress in that direction right now. Not someday, now. I'm working toward my goal every single day. She's working toward something she's wanted for years. Working toward, working toward. Next phrase, in the process of. To be in the process of something means it has already started and is ongoing. I'm in the process of making a big change. He's in the process of building something extraordinary. In the process of. in the process of. Next phrase, holding you back. What is holding you back means what is stopping you or slowing you down. What's holding you back from starting? Fear was holding me back for years. Holding you back, holding you back. Next phrase, getting in my own way. This means your own fear. Doubt or procrastination is the main obstacle, not external circumstances. I know what I need to do. I just keep getting in my own way, getting in my own way, getting in my own way. Next phrase, putting it off. To put something off means to delay it, to keep moving the start date into the future. I've been putting this off for months. Stop putting it off, start today. Putting it off, putting it off. Next phrase, I refuse to give up on. This is fierce determination, unmovable commitment. I refuse to give up on this dream. I refuse to give up on myself. I refuse to give up on. I refuse to give up on. Next phrase, I'm determined to. Determined means you have made a firm decision and nothing will change it. I'm determined to make this work. I'm determined to reach my goal. I'm determined to. I'm determined to. Next phrase, fall into place. When things fall into place, it means everything starts to come together naturally. The pieces of a plan or a life start to fit. I trust that if I keep going, everything will fall into place. It took time, but eventually things fell into place. Fall into place, fall into place. Last phrase, non-negotiable. If something is non-negotiable, it is fixed. You will not change it. You will not compromise on it. My goal is non-negotiable. My growth is non-negotiable, non-negotiable, non-negotiable. Those are your 10 phrases for today here on LearnEng. I've always dreamed of, working toward, in the process of holding you back, getting in my own way, putting it off. I refuse to give up on. I'm determined to fall into place, non-negotiable. Pick 2, write your own examples, say them out loud. That's how they become yours. And here we are at the end of another LearnEng episode together. I want to say something before we go. Your dreams, the one in the drawer, it didn't end up there because it wasn't good enough. It ended up there because life got loud, because fear got louder, because someone somewhere, maybe even you, told you to be practical. But practical and dreaming are not enemies. You can be both. You can have a plan and a dream. You can take small steps and still believe in the big picture. You can be patient and still be passionate. The dream doesn't have to be loud to be real. It just has to be yours, and it has to keep coming back. And if it keeps coming back, that's not an accident, that's a sign. Don't ignore it. Your mission, 3 sentences about your dream. Post them in the comments. I will read every single one. And tell me, where in the world are you listening from right now? I love knowing where our LearnEng community is sitting at this very moment. If today's episode helped you feel more ready to talk about what you really want in English, please like this video, subscribe to LearnEng, and share it with one person who needs to hear that their dream is worth talking about. Because it is, and so is yours. I'm David. This has been LearnEng, your cozy place to learn real English one conversation at a time. And I'll see you in the next episode. Keep dreaming, keep working, keep going. You're doing so much better than you think. Bye for now.